Hi everyone, I wanted to make some quick announcements. Okay, first, this is really important, okay? I guess you could say I've arrived as I'm now a victim of the scammers, which is not in a, like, it hasn't affected me in a bad way, it can affect you in a bad way. And that is why I wanted to do this video to warn you guys. So there is a proliferation now on Instagram of scammers making like impersonating Instagram profiles of I'm not sure what they're doing, if they're doing this for other types of accounts, but for people in the tarot and psychic communities, it's happening a lot. Actually, I can't look it up because our phone is recording, but on Instagram, okay, so if you go to my Instagram page, I have a post and I have a highlight with all of this information. There is an account now, I want to say at Scammer Community, but I have it saved on my Instagram. I would look it up for you right now, except of course, like, my phone is recording and I don't have a means to look it up. I should have written this down. That profile is highlighting fake accounts that are trying to trick people. So what these accounts are doing is they're setting up a profile that looks exactly like a reader, and they're even putting their legitimate links. So this is what happened to me. Someone created a profile that made it look exactly like mine. They put my own actual links. So if you click on the link on the profile, it goes to my Etsy shop, it goes to my Patreon page, it goes to all of my stuff, which to me, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You would think it would be fake stuff, but it's not. It's my real stuff, because they're trying to convince you that it's really me. But what they do instead, what they do instead is message you in your DMs, offer to do a reading for you, or ask you if you want another reading to try and like trick you into thinking that it's me and that we already have a relationship. And then they're giving you a different PayPal link. It's my actual PayPal link in the links on the profile, but in the DMs, when they're talking to you, they're sending a different PayPal link, and they're trying to trick people into ordering readings that way and paying them instead of through me, and obviously tricking you and taking your money. So be careful, okay? Like, pay attention to things like the number of followers and the number of posts. And one of the things that I noticed, even though they were copying my posts, they even had a 7-second video clip with me from one of my lives and my face, but and me talking and moving. But if you look at it and you open it, it doesn't have the full screen and it's not long. So like that live, that was like a 2-hour live that I did, but they only had 7 seconds of it. And some of my other content that was more original, it was missing the tops and the bottoms, maybe like trying to cut off my my trademark stuff. So you got to pay attention to those details, okay? And no captions as either. No captions, no hashtags. So pay attention to these details. I am never going to message anybody asking for an order, okay? I have a average 2-week wait list. Sometimes it's 3 weeks, depending on what's going on. Sometimes it's 1 week. I don't need to solicit orders, and I'm never going to do that. I think it's rude, okay? And I would never trust anyone who did that, to be honest. So if you get a message from me, you need to question it, okay? Well, because it's not from me. Also, I prefer not to go through, I am willing to go through PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, because hey, it saves me fees that because I have to pay fees through Etsy and Patreon. However, I do like using Etsy and Patreon because it keeps all the information organized in one spot for me, and I don't have to like worry about forgetting about someone. So and plus it's a fail-safe for you, okay? So unless we have a relationship and you want to pay me through one of those other methods, or you feel comfortable because you know me and you know that you're interacting with me, that's fine. Otherwise, you're only ordering through my Etsy shop, and that's how you know you're actually ordering through me, okay? So keep that in mind and be safe and be careful. So I don't want any of you to get scammed, and there's nothing that I can do about it. And to be honest, I reported it twice I did the best that I could through my business account, but it's not easy because they had blocked me so that I couldn't see it. And I reported it through my personal, and I got messages from Instagram saying that it doesn't go against community standards, and like they didn't have enough proof or whatever. And I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? I think that what happened is that it did get taken down. I think that enough of my followers reported it as fake. It was either that, or I did report all of the posts on the page that either had my image or my trademarked content. So that way, that might have been, there was enough of that on there that might have been what caused them to be taken down. But I fully expect it to happen again. I see other accounts that it's constant. So yeah, I expect it to continue to occur. So even though that profile got taken down, another one can pop up at any time, okay? So just be vigilant, be careful, okay? So that's message number 1. Be careful of the scammers. Message number 2, I've been meaning to record this and post it. I made a lot of changes with my business and I want to make sure you guys know about them. Like I mention it when I do lives and when I do collective readings, but I hate sounding like a salesperson and that stuff too. It would be stupid of me not to mention it. So that's why I wanted to have a separate place where if you have questions or whatever, you can access this and see. So first I want to talk about my Patreon account, because right now, like this week is really like the last week where for this month, it would benefit you to join, because I saved all of the Patreon VIP community perks for the end of the month so that more people have time to take advantage if they want to. After Saturday, I would wait until November 1st, okay? Because you don't want to get charged twice when you're missing some of the events. So I set up a Patreon account, profile community. I'm not really sure what you call it. You just go to Patreon, patreon.com/fearlessly inspired. And I have many different tiers on there. I have some tiers that are simply, if you know that you want a reading each month or Reiki each month or whatever, you can sign up for that. It's a little bit discounted from my Etsy shop, and you automatically will get that every month. You don't have to place a new order every month. Okay, so then I also have group tiers. So that is like my own personal VIP collective. So I'm calling it my Fearlessly Inspired VIP collective. So people in those tiers are going to get stuff exclusively for them. So the first tier is actually a gratitude tier. So just like if you want to thank me for everything that I do on Instagram and whatnot, the readings and all that, and the lives. Group 2 is a Q&A tier. So anybody in group 2 is getting access to join my Telegram to Twinflame community, so that you have support from other twin flames who know what you're going through. Because I say this a million times, anyone who's not a twin flame cannot understand the twin flame journey. People in your life, unless you have an extremely compassionate and open-minded best friend, most people in your life can't understand what this journey is like and what you're going through, and they can't understand why you can't walk away and move on. So it really makes a huge difference having people that you can talk to who understand. A lot of people go through spiritual warfare on this journey too, and it's extremely common for twin flames to be attacked. So that's another reason for the community, because a lot of people on there have gone through similar experiences with that as well. And again, only someone else who's been through it can understand. There's so many people who don't believe that that exists and think that it's crazy and you're psycho or scammed or something like that. And it's not true. It's real. And it happens. So in my twin flame community, you have the support from other twin flames to help you through the process and just through the day to day. Okay. So you get access to that. This group 2 we're in, group 2 also, it has one call a month that is a coaching call. So you can come in there and you can bring your questions, like questions about the twin flame journey. How do I get through this? How do I handle that? And I'll do a group coaching call. Okay. Then we have group 3, which is a collective reading. So group 3 gets everything I already said, the Telegram group, the coaching call, and I do a group collective reading for everybody in that group and above. So whoever is subscribed to my VIP collective, you're going to get a collective reading that is for you guys. So like right now, I just started Patreon in July and I didn't even have time to start promoting it until August, and I honestly barely had time to. So it's still new and I don't have a ton of members yet. So right now I have a small group of like less than 10 people who are going to get a collective reading that is just for them. So there's no question of do I take this for me or do I not take this for me? So that I think is amazing right now. It's an amazing benefit for them because they're getting a discounted reading that they know is for them. So that's group 3. Group 4 personal readings means everything I've already said, plus another group call that on that call, it'll be like on a live if I'm pulling cards for someone. So you can ask questions, like ask me a question and I'll pull a card on the spot and I'll do stuff like that. I may even do a group reading. I might play around with the new deck. Honestly, I'm going to play around with that one month to month and see what I feel like doing. And based on how many people are on the call too. So maybe I'll spend a period of time answering questions, individual questions for people. Maybe I'll spend a period of time playing around with the new deck and just pulling out cards for everybody. I mean, who knows? I'm going to play around with it. It'll be fun. Group 5 is the group healing. So it gets everything I've already mentioned, the Telegram group, the coaching call, the collective reading, the personal call reading where I'll play around with the different decks. And it also gets a group healing call where I'll do my Reiki energy medicine that I do, that I am seeing benefits for people both mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I'm going to spend time in there just doing focused energy healing for everybody, both for your emotional state as well as your physical. If you have any particular symptoms, you can tell me. I can focus on that. And I am seeing results with clients who are having, less pain and improved symptoms for a period of time. So that is with that tier. And once that group becomes larger, there will also be a drawing for a twin flame reading, a free twin flame reading. Group 6 is everything that I've just said, plus you will get a 1-hour one-on-one session with me for whatever you choose, whether that's you want a reading or you want Reiki or you want coaching. Group 7 is again the same things, except that you get 2 hours with me instead of 1 hour. And I think that's it. So then those are my group tiers. And then I also have set up on Patreon individual mentorships. So the mentorships are all the same. The difference is how long they go for. Sorry, I keep looking at my computer reference it to make sure I don't forget everything. That's why I keep going like this. Okay, so the mentorship programs that I have. It is a coaching mentorship usually for the twin flame journey, but it doesn't have to be for the twin flame journey. It can be for narcissism recovery. It can be for spiritual warfare. It can be for shadow work. It can be for your soul path and your soul purpose, life purpose. It can be for anything it can be for ascension, anything that you are needing. Okay. So with the mentorships, you're going to get access to the Telegram group. You're going to get, it says 24/7 access to me. Obviously, I'm not available 24/7, but what that means is that you can text me or message me through whatever device or app at any time, and I'm going to be able to respond to you. I will respond to you and answer your questions and help you through triggers and crises and all of that stuff. Now, I will say that Yeah, I do already do that to a large extent with all of my clients because I'm just not the type to ignore my clients. However, it was important for me to differentiate this on here because I don't have unlimited time. And the busier I get, the less time that I have. And it actually takes quite a lot of time to answer all of my messages. So I'm not always going to be able to answer all my messages. Like the day is going to come when I can't answer every client anymore. Or the other thing is that when clients or followers are messaging me, I might have to be short and just to give like a quick response and not a detailed response and not really helping. But anyone who signed up for my mentorships, you're always going to get that. You're going to get the time, you're going to get the effort, you're going to get the detailed responses to help you. And I also would like you to think of it as fairness and a fair energy exchange. I understand, like, the reason why I have this set up is because I understand how much help people need getting through this. This is a very difficult journey, and it's very difficult to understand and emotionally survive. And I understand that people need help. That's why I set up the community, because people need to be able to support each other. And it's the same with this. Like, I understand that people are messaging me because they need help and there's nobody else that understands. I get that. And I want to be able to help everyone. But like I said, the busier I get, the less time that I have. So in all fairness to me as well, in helping you, this is a fair energy exchange. Or have that understanding that the day is going to come where I can't answer everybody anymore. So I do point out on there with the mentorships, the 24/7 access to me. And of course, that's based on my availability as well, but I will get back to you as soon as I'm able to. So also with the mentorships, you get a reading each month, probably a Twinflame reading, unless you want a different reading, which you can totally change it to a different reading since it's monthly. Also 2 Reiki sessions and 2 coaching sessions. So basically every week you're going to have either a Reiki or a coaching, and you also get a reading. Okay. And the mentorships are either 1 month at a time, a commitment of 3 months, a commitment of 6 months, or a commitment of 12 months. And each whether it's the 1 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, or the 12 month, each one is discounted more based on the commitment period. So yeah, the 1 year mentorship is a lot less a month because it's the commitment for the 1 year. So you're getting a lot for a great deal, to be honest. So that's take that into consideration when understanding the differences. Okay. So that is Patreon. Now I also want to mention to you, wait, is there anything else I want to say about that? So yeah, if you want to get in on October's events, I have the coaching call and the collective reading and the group healing call and the personal readings call. If you want to get in on that VIP group, now between now and Saturday is the last time that I would say you should do it for this month. After that, the 1st, November 1st. And while my community is still growing, I'm probably going to be scheduling this stuff more at the later end of the month to give people time to join whenever they prefer, so that way they don't miss out. Okay. Okay. So yeah, going to my Etsy shop now, I do have more readings that I added to give you more variety that I want to go through and explain. Sorry, I have an itch. Rather than keep wiping my nose, let me just scratch it. Okay. Okay, so since I had to change my listings to be digital instead of physical, which it's complicated with Etsy, they were going to require tracking numbers, so I changed it to digital. So there is a digital download whenever you order, but you can ignore that really, and I will send you the link to watch your readings when they're done. But in order to add the option to make your order urgent, I had to create a separate listing. You can no longer add it within the same listing anymore. So if you want to place an order and you don't want to wait the wait list, because like I said earlier, my wait list is on average 2 weeks. If you don't want to waste that average amount of time, whatever it may be, you can always ask me what it is at the current time. Then add the priority urgent listing in addition to the reading that you're ordering, and that will increase, or I don't know what the right word is. I can't think of the right word, but your reading, I'll deliver your reading to you within 3 days instead. So that way you don't have to wait 2 weeks or so. You can get it much quicker. I did add in here, if you don't want to join my Patreon mentorships, but you do need to just talk sometimes, ask me some questions, but you don't need like a whole coaching session. I did put in a 15-minute quick chat listing in here. But that's because, like I told you, the busier that I get, the less time that I have. And it takes time to answer messages. It takes a lot longer than you would realize. So, again, that's about the fair energy exchange for me. And like I said before, I just ask that you guys take that into consideration because look at it from the other perspective, basically, okay? Money is not my greatest luxury. Time is my greatest luxury. I've had the live calls on there before. I don't know if you guys realize that. There are some people who prefer live readings. I do have the option of live calls on my Etsy shop also, okay? And those have the built-in urgent price increase because the live calls are done within about 24 hours or so. Okay, I do have still in here, and I will leave it there, the workshop recording that we did in July. That was what did we call it? It was a clearing and cleansing, as well as DNA activation, and I also did a group reading. There's a recording of that workshop. It was an hour and a half. You can purchase it in my Etsy shop. We're also going to be doing another one on the 1111 portal next month. I'm going to be setting up the listing and getting out the information about that soon, over the next week as well. So you'll be able to sign up for tickets through Eventbrite or through my Etsy shop to join that workshop on the 1111 portal. Actually, we haven't worked out the details yet, but I'm also in discussions with a friend about setting up a workshop on the December equinox, and with my friend Kira, who is going to be doing quantum healing during that workshop as well. But we just started discussing it, so I don't have any details yet, but I'm looking forward to that one too. We're both really excited. We're also going to be doing a live the week of the 1111 portal as well, and we're figuring out what we want to do about that for our Instagram live. Okay, so I have the love messages reading, same day reading, which is also about 24 hours. I added a pendulum reading, so because I'm much more adept with my pendulum now, I always connect with Jesus. I ask for him specifically because I want to make sure that there are no trickster spirits or negative spirits that are interfering and trying to confuse people or cause chaos. So I always ask directly for Jesus and your higher selves, possibly some archangels or Mother Mary as well. And I trust that they are giving me the most accurate information. So I added a 5-question pendulum reading. If you have like quick or detailed questions you want to ask, I use a chart that has letters and numbers on it, not just yes or no. So you're able to get a variety of answers from that. I think I give some examples in there. I added story readings. I know a lot of readers are doing story readings. I guess interest depends on who it is. But yeah, I added a 4-card story readings to my shop. Haven't gotten a lot of interest in it yet. That's why I said I guess it depends, but I personally prefer the bigger readings anyway. So excited about this one. I added a Who Are Your Spirit Guides reading, and it's like who are your dragons, who are your spirit animals. I'll ask who your archangels are, loved ones, elementals, like all those types of things. Like I'm not going to get names for all of them. I should get more detailed information about dragons and spirit animals. I should be able to get names for your archangels. And then I can find out things like how many angels and fairies and dragons and unicorns and all that. And all those are all real. Those are all real spirits that live in the elemental dimension. Well, it's not an exclusive dimension, but they live in another dimension just like angels do. So yeah, really excited about that one. Then I have all the normal ones that you guys are used to, my monthly forecast, traditional tarot reading, extended love reading, extended life purpose reading, which can also be a career reading. Okay, so I added an energy check-in, and it includes an astrology viewpoint. Now, I'm not an expert in astrology, and it's not coming from that angle. It's coming from, I assume you heard my daughter in the background. Okay, so the astrology thing, I have an astrology oracle deck, and that's where it's coming from. So I'm going to use that astrology oracle deck to also look at astrological influences on each of you or the person that you're asking about. Actually, this one's going to be the person you're asking about. Hold on a second. What are you doing? This one is really needs to be about one person. So it'll be astrological influences and energy around the person you're talking about, what is affecting them, how it's affecting them, those types of things. So it's going to be, it includes 2 spreads, an energy check-in of like their internal energies, spiritually and emotionally, and then the astrological check-in for what's going on that's affecting them externally and what major shifts and changes and things are happening in their lives. I think that that is an awesome reading, like for a quick check-in on how a twin flame is feeling, or how it can be about anyone. It can be what's going on with a friend or a family member also. It doesn't have to be exclusively about twin flames, or a soulmate or a karmic. So yeah, I love that reading. I have a past life reading. I don't know if you guys realize that. It's not past life regression, but it's a past life reading that it does use cards, but I have found that when I do this reading, Spirit gives me visions of everything that happened. And I love these readings too. The last one really blew me away. So I highly encourage those. I have a mediumship reading to connect with loved ones. And again, I have messages, like card messages, as well as I'll meditate and connect with their spirits, which all the mediumship readings I've done so far, the spirits connect with me usually ahead of time and give me some signs and visions and images. And sometimes I feel I feel pain where they had pain. So like that, to validate things, sometimes I get names. So, those readings have been really beautiful as well and eye-opening. And I've had a few that they just kind of like, it was a little Teresa Caputo like, where they were like, hey, I want to talk to you. I want you to give a message to someone, which that was for a friend. So I do, those are very meaningful also. I have the Akashic Records reading, which ever since I got that deck, it blows me away. It's really beautiful. The messages that come through showing you know, the Akashic Records are it's literally like, and meditative Akashic readers, you know, describe it this way too. It's like if you're in the spirit realm and you walk into the library there, and you can open up the book of your life and see the book, look at the book of your life and see where you're at, where you've been, where you're going. So that's what it is. It tells you where you're at in your life, what is going on around you, and where you're headed. And so you understand everything that's going on in your life. It's really beautiful. Okay, so now I have my normal twin flame reading, which is the most popular one that I have, but now it's my most basic one because I've added others that have additional information that is just a lot more in depth. So I have my basic twin flame reading. To go through the twin flame readings, I have the Akashic twin flame reading. So that one is my normal twin flame reading plus the Akashic Records for both of you, for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So that is a lot of additional information that's very helpful and valuable. That's probably, honestly, that or my most extensive one are probably the most valuable twin flame readings that I have, the most helpful. I also added a twin flame astrology reading. Now with that one, it's the normal twin flame reading plus an astrological look at the connection. So if you guys have gotten my twin flame readings, you know that I do a heart that is the divine feminine side and the divine masculine side. Well, this one also has, it does that, plus it has an astrology heart looking at both sides and the viability of the connection, the astrological influences, and the external happenings and influences and all of that. Just like kind of how I explained with the energy check-in, but more in depth than the energy check-in. And I also find it very, very useful and informative as well. So that one, it's like the Akashic one, except that they're separate. So you can either get it with the Akashic records or you can get it with the astrology. And then I have my most extensive one, which includes all of the above. It's my regular twin flame reading. It's an Akashic records reading on the connection. It's not both as individuals, since I also have the astrology, because that's a lot. I wouldn't even be able to fit it all. But it's an Akashic records reading looking at the connection. It's the astrology reading looking at the heart again, looking at the connection, astrological influences on both of you, and the connection. I also include the energy check-in with the most extensive one. So you're also looking at that internal energy check of what's going on with the other person, plus the oracle cards like I do with all of my twin flame readings. So I love all of the different options that you have now. I think that they're awesome, and it provides different tiers almost. So like if you can't afford a lot, you can get the basic one, but if you can afford more, you can get the extensive one and get like all that information. And then I also added 3 more readings that are really helpful for your life and the twin flame journey. So the first one is the shadow work reading. So if you are really doing the inner work and the inner healing on yourself in order to move forward in this journey, to be able to get through this transformative process and come out the other side, get closer to union, then you want the shadow work reading to really help you dig deep into your inner wounds and what you need to work on. I have some specialized decks specifically for that, and I have a shadow work workbook that I will also use to help you what's the right word? Get in touch with whatever those inner issues are that you need to address. Okay, so that's a great in-depth reading to really dig deep on. Okay, and then the soul path reading I love, and the clients who I've done it for, they have loved it, and that I've got amazing feedback on it. In fact, like some of them are what inspired me, or who inspired me I should say, to really create this even more in depth, because it started with my life purpose one, and I wanted to expand it because the impact it was having on my clients who got it was just astounding to me. Like I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense in hindsight, because spirit really speaks through me, like I can tell, and the guidance that spirit gives on how to live their best lives and follow their life purpose and be happy and all of that. Like it's had really beautiful effects on people, and I wanted to be able to offer something to really help guide people through life in that respect, which it can help with the twin flame journey. It can help with just your individual lives. And I look at, with that reading, I believe, oh yes, so the Akashic Records has a Wheel of Life spread, and that's what I do. I use the Wheel of Life spread to look at all aspects of your life and where you're currently at in your path forward. So I start with that, and then I add in a bunch of other oracle decks that spirit is giving guidance on your path, your spiritual awakening, your so life purpose, but also like looking at the different aspects, like whether that's more 3D based or more spiritual based. And And it's also largely intuitive on which decks to use, but it's just, there's a lot of different input and depth at looking into what is meant for you and what you need to focus on, basically. And then the last one is an Astrology and Akashic Records Wheel of Life. So that is similar to the Soul Path one, except that it's exclusively the 12 houses of the zodiac, looking at through the both the Akashic Records and the Astrology deck, looking at exactly what's going on in each of your houses. And that one's just straightforward and simple. Like it's the Wheel of Life with the 12 houses and where you're at, where you're going, but that's it, just from the Akashic Records and the Astrology. The Soul Path is similar, but it adds in more layers with the other decks. Okay, so then that's everything that I added. I've already had on here different packages of Twinflame coaching, just so that you're aware. I have an energy balancing consultation. So if you are needing help understanding how to balance your energy, keep yourself grounded and uplifted and cleansed, I can give you guidance on that and help with what to do for each of your chakras. I do have a special, it's not like the price that I have for this is strictly basically my cost and shipping for the most part. I can't remember exactly how I base that, but yeah, it's mainly my cost, just to make sure my costs are covered. And it's a special essential oil blend for you. I don't have all essential oils, of course, but I have many. And if you want like an aura cleansing oil blend or anything specific to certain needs that you have, I can create that for you, so you don't have to purchase the essential oils on their own. And I created that also because with the energy balancing consultation, a lot of times I will give advice on help with different chakras and specific essential oils to use, for example. So I created that essential oil blend so that way you don't have to go out and buy everything, and I can just create it for you. I have this is actually an important one to mention, even though I'm wrapping up. I have a cord cutting and negative energy cleansing listing. This is something that I recently added. The negative energy cleansing was already there. I can cleanse your space, I can cleanse you, but I added the cord cutting aspect of it. I have a special meditation that I can do in order to really it's a really strong meditation to cut cords with anyone toxic in your life, past or present, and any mental or energetic poisons that have been affecting you, to help clear that from your aura. And I will say that the first client that I had who utilized that, she felt the difference while I was still doing it. She messaged me while I was still doing it, and she said, did you just do this? Because it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. And I thought that was amazing. Even though I knew I could do it, I always love getting feedback like that. So that made me really happy. And she was even able, she was also consulting with a different healer who was able to see it. And they were able to tell her the before and after, that before this toxic cord existed, and after I completed the work, it was no longer there. So that's also really nice to hear. And then I have, going along with it, then I have lots of listings and packages here for my Reiki energy medicine. I do say Reiki because I'm trained in Reiki. However, my energy medicine is a little bit different. It doesn't have a name that I'm aware of, and I don't know what to call it. That's why I say Reiki energy medicine. It's energy healing, but I also, the way that I do it, which I don't know how to explain to you, but the way that I do it, I'm able to extract pain and negative energy and physical symptoms as well, to some extent. I'm obviously not a doctor. I can't make any promises or guarantees. But I do have clients who have told me that I have helped physical symptoms. And I know that my gifts are very similar to a very powerful energy healer who is able to affect physical symptoms. He actually had a show on TLC, and I follow his work and his teaching. And I know that my gifts are the same as his from the way he's described them. So I'm continuing to hone them more and more and more. And my goal is to be able to create longer lasting effects with that, to help people as much as I can. And like I said, I'm not a doctor. I can't promise anything. I can't make any guarantees, but I can tell you from testimonials that people tell me that it's helping. So I just want to be able to help people. So lots of listings and packages for that. And I also have narcissism recovery coaching and spiritual coaching. And that's everything. So this video is way longer than I expected, but it takes time. And I really just wanted you guys to know all of the options that you have available to you. I wanted to put it in one spot so that you don't have to listen to it every time I do a video, a collective reading or something like that. So if you have any questions about any of that, let me know. My Etsy shop is etsy.com/fearlessly-inspired. I think that's the link. The shop is Fearlessly Inspired. All of my links are in my link tree on my Instagram profile as well. Anyway, I have it everywhere. I have it on my YouTube. I have it on my Facebook. The links are everywhere. So if you're watching this, you can find the links, basically, okay? But let me know if you have any questions. And I guess that's it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Approaching the full moon tomorrow night. Get out your releasing rituals and get ready to release any blocks that have been holding you back. Okay? Talk to you soon.